Yo, hey everybody. How's it going tonight? J-Mac here with you. I am joined by my brother from another mother, everybody's favorite savory treat. That's right. Crispy bacon.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great evening and back for another episode.
We are back. We are back for another episode. And don't forget that, here in it's probably going to be sooner than last year, but typically, what is it, Chris? Usually around April or May, we kind of go to one show a week just because everyone usually has plans and stuff during the summer. So
yeah,
we usually go down to 1 day a week, but we'll let you know before that happens.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all being here, watching and listening, and we do this for you, our Friday night crew, as we call it. Don't feel free to comment, jump in the show, bring up as we go along, bring up a topic if you want us to talk about it on the air. We'll do that. We'll bring back Call the Show soon. I have to make sure that we have the number secured and everything to do that. We can do that, and right now it's just Crispy and I, but. Our two other brothers will be here in a little bit. We'll have Mess Around on tonight, and we'll have Big B on too. So we'll introduce them as they come in. I want to kick off tonight by talking about some things going on, and you consider it in the sports world, I guess, because it happens all over. Do you think, Chris, you're kind of the football guru, so how's the weather in Oregon, James? I was telling Chris, I'm glad I don't have an outhouse because my ass would be sticking to the seat. It's cold, man. I think I was telling him last night with the wind chill, it was about 11 here.
Yeah, that's cold.
It's cold for here. Like, I know that's not cold in some places, but that's cold for here. And there's Mess Around. And Mess Around could tell you he got Snowmageddon yesterday down where he lives on the coast. They got the most snow they've gotten in the history of his town yesterday. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. They got Snowmageddon yesterday down there. It's cold, man. How's the weather down in Southern California? I'm sure you're going to tell me it's like, 70 degrees or something, like Chris the other day. I got to tell the story, Chris, and I know we don't make fun of you a whole lot, and it's not to make fun of you. It's just to tell you,
we're messed up.
Well, it was during the Cougar show on Wednesday, and before the show, we're talking about the weather, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's supposed to snow here. It's going to be cold, and Chris is like, it wasn't great today. It rained a little bit, and then I think it was around 81, and I'm like, bro.
That's how crazy Texas weather is, though.
Yeah. But looks like Mess Around joined us. Mess Around, how's it going tonight, brother?
I'm good. Picked up the kid from work. She brought pizza home, so I need the pizza.
Well, there you go.
Can't beat that.
There you go. Can't beat that.
Nope.
And she driving me home, too.
Oof.
Say hi, Bo.
Hi.
She can come and be my chauffeur. Damn, I could use one of those. You know what's crazy? And I'll say it with her in the car. I don't even care. Like I'm so past the point in my life of not caring what anyone else thinks. Like to tell you exactly how I feel, and Mess Around knows this about me because he's known me a long time. But how I feel, what when I say things, how I care, how much other people think about that. Honestly, I'd rather eat a bowl of water with a fork. like I really don't give a shit about what they think. So I'll tell you that I was really ragging on teenagers and women before the show started. And I usually do it on the show too, because teenagers, awful
Well,
creatures.
you got how many of them in your house? Like 6?
Oh, Jesus. Don't even get me started, man. And tonight is worse. So let me tell you that tonight is worse because 2 of them have a sleepover with a friend, which makes 4, and then the other one. So, I mean, you're talking 5. 5 hormonal teenagers in my house, plus, the old lady. So,
Plus the wife, yeah.
So 6. You hit that right on the head. You got 6 here tonight. And I don't even know what to say, man. Like I was telling Chris, you know what I made a list the other day of things that I did that pissed my teenager off. One of the teenagers. Do you want to know what that list consisted of? I said hi. I said good morning. I said, hey, dinner's ready. I breathed too loud, apparently.
Right.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to say with that. And then,
you eat too loud.
Oh,
Stop smacking your food.
Dad, you're not funny. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty gold on hilarious. I don't know where you guys are missing on that, but
Right.
I'm just saying, I think I'm hilarious. And I tell him that. I'm like, well, something will happen. Someone will say something, and I just, bam, I come back with the quip like that, and I slam them, and they're like, that wasn't even that funny. And I'm like, you know who would have loved it? The guys would have loved that one.
Right. Or I think I'm pretty funny, and she'll be like, yeah, you funny looking, Dad.
I get them back with that one. They say that to me, and I'm like, yep. And you look like half of me, so
right. And where do you get most of your looks from? Yeah,
exactly. Like,
that's
where do you
right.
get your looks from? You get them from me, so that really isn't. Oh man, I remember one time we were sitting at the table. They were talking about dad jokes, and they're like, some dad jokes are funny, they're kind of humorous, some are, but Dad, tell us a good one. And I'm like, I don't have to tell you good jokes. I made 3 of them. And I just got up and left the table.
Yes. That's fucking awesome. I don't care who you are. That's awesome.
That's pretty.
Their mouths were just like hanging to the floor. They couldn't believe I just said that.
You're like, how dare you?
Oh, man. And like I said, I really don't give a shit. I don't care what anyone thinks. I really don't.
He really does not.
No. In fact, it made me think of this video I was watching earlier. There was this guy who had went hunting, and I don't know, he had a deer in the back of his truck or something. He's driving through this residential area, and he had to stop at a stop sign. And so this woman comes out with her kids, and she's like, how can you kill a deer? How can they're like yelling at him while he's in his truck? And how can you do this? And he's like, so I can eat it. And they're like, but she's like, my kids are upset. They don't like that. And he's like, I don't care what your kids like and what they don't.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm driving down the street. I could care less what they think.
There's shit. The hell.
Well, you need to apologize to them because they're offended. It's like, yeah, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to drive away from the stop sign now. I'm not going to apologize. And you know what? I'm going to sleep just fine tonight because I really don't give a shit.
And I would add it, you go fuck yourself.
Pretty much. Let's see. It's great feeling not to care what people say anymore. You're free. I completely. Because I just don't like. It's definitely a way to live your life. Just not give a shit, man. The don't raise snowflakes. You know what? I completely agree with you. Don't raise snowflakes. I probably would have thrown, and mess around knows me. I probably would have thrown something in there of like, if your kids are offended, Well, first off, I'm going to smack the shit out of your kid, and then I'm going to smack the shit out of you for raising your kids to be offended by everything. So that's what I have to say about that. Chris, what I was going to ask you was pertaining to like kind of the spring leagues of football, all the football leagues, and you're a football guru here. So do you think that some of them would gain some more credibility if they made themselves kind of entities of the NFL, if you will, like a developmental league?
I would think so. I mean, you could have, I would say most of the teams they have now, you could probably partner with the NFL. It would certainly help. I think it will back a lot of fans, into supporting, those leagues and maybe get more recognition.
Sure. No, completely agree. I think Messeron's inside a store, but I can't really tell.
I'm inside 7-Eleven. My daughter forgot to give me Dr. Pepper, so I'm running in to get one.
Oh, speaking of teenagers, you can tell them something, and I heard you tell her as she got out of the car, and then forgot that quick. Here's another one I got for you. Speaking of teenagers, by the way, you tell me if you've experienced this one, mess around. You tell them, hey, go clean your room. It'll take you like 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. And I need it done by Thursday, and today's Tuesday, right? So they don't do it. And then Thursday night comes along, and in our house we can have different. Get me a Slurpee, Dave. Let me get a Slurpee, Dave. Yeah, is what James says. Anyway, and then then Thursday night comes along, and in our house we can like put times on the internet of when they can have the internet. So then we turn all their internet off for the night. Then they come out to get their stuff, and they get all mad, and they're like, why is my internet off? Go clean your room. And then they walk away like, it's not fair. You don't even give me time to clean my room. You don't give me time to do anything. I gave you 2 days. And then you go
next Thursday or whatever.
Right. And then they literally go in and do it, and it took them 20 minutes that I told them it would take them 20 minutes 2 days ago. But it's my fault somehow that they, didn't get it done. That's a fun one. I got asked a question. I'm going to get your guys' opinion on this one. Chris, you might not know it as well, but Mess Around will. Why don't guys like celebrating their birthday?
Kids, it just reminds you of how old you're getting, and it's just another fucking day. That's why.
I agree. But to me, there's more to it than that. A little bit. Well, put your seatbelt on. Big B, you're just in time. You're just in time.
All right, what am I in time for?
I just asked a question.
Oh boy, the answer is A.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no, it's always C.
The question I asked is, I got asked a question the other day about why don't men like celebrating their birthdays?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know really. I mean, I don't mind going out on my birthday. I mean, I don't think we need a big birthday party unless it's like 4-0, 5-0, stuff like that. But
right,
I don't mind getting acknowledged on it. But having a birthday party, yeah, I don't need one.
God, we're halfway there, Big B. I mean, we're 5 years closer to 50.
Yeah.
I mean, those ones should be celebrated.
Right.
And
for sure,
I guess if you're, in your 30 or 31, your golden birthdays, those should always be celebrated. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, so someone asked me, and you know how I always have to try to be funny, but kind of be a little bit of truth behind that funny too.
Yeah.
I said, well, I think guys are just tired of celebrating a day in which they get socks when the people that buy them socks expect cruises.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one, but you're right. I mean, it seems like every time you get a gift, it's always something you don't need or want. But yet, when you deliver a gift, that they're upset, then they make it known. I get what you're saying, man.
Yeah,
Love
for
you.
sure.
Good night.
Oh, we love you too, Dave.
Yeah, we love you too, Dave.
Who doesn't love me? I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, I have known one or two people who haven't liked you, and I've asked them the same thing. I'm like, how can you not like Dave? But
I've never met anybody that hasn't liked me. I mean, I've never heard of it.
well, yeah, they say it behind your back, but you know,
Probably.
Well, why don't you ask Aaron Rodgers what he thinks of you? You know, being a Bears
Yeah.
fan.
no doubt, right? I think one of the funniest things that ever happened, and I know Dave wasn't there when this happened, but he can attest to this happening, I'm sure, in his life. So when we worked at the same agency, I'd go to a new place to work, to sub or whatever, go work a new shift, and it'd be at a house, you know, that Mess Around had worked at or whatever, a group home. And I'd go in there and I'd be like, well, how's the crew here? And they're all like, oh, you know, there's this person, and then Dave this. And then they just go off about him for a minute. And they're like, what do you think of Dave? And I'm like, well, I've been friends with Dave for like 10 years. So and they're like, oh.
Oh, don't tell them what we said.
Right. Fuckers.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it when I'd work there and someone would be like, you know, I don't get why everybody likes like Adam, and he's such an asshole and he's this and that. I'm like, yeah, that's my best friend you're talking about there. You better shut your mouth right now.
Hey,
And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, watch who you're talking about in front of other people you don't know.
Nope.
no, I mean, it's definitely happened a time or two. I've been there. And hey, Big B, the thing we were talking about before that is we were talking about how I say things and it offends people, and I don't really care. I got no. I mean, how little I care is I would rather eat every meal. I'd rather eat a bowl of water with a fork. Like, I really don't give a shit.
Well, and that's how you have to go with life. I mean, we don't try to offend people, but everything is so offensive for everybody nowadays that, yeah, I'm to the point, too, that I could care less if I offend you or not. I don't try to, but if you're offended, go F yourself, you know?
Especially if it's not something to be offended over. I mean, that's, just get over it.
And it's always the littlest things sometimes.
Oh, it absolutely is. You know, I saw something. I saved it. See if I could pull it up. Oh, this is how social media works. Me, I make a post and says, I prefer mangoes to oranges. Okay?
Okay.
Random person on Facebook.
Right.
So basically what you're saying is you hate oranges. You also failed to mention bananas, pineapples, and grapefruits. Educate yourself. I'm literally shaking right now.
Wow, triggered much?
Right.
I
What-
do
what
prefer
you-
mangoes to oranges.
Right? I know.
I
You
prefer
got-
drinking Powerade over Gatorade.
Right? I love
Powerade
mangoes.
Zero is the best, actually. Though I like.
Yeah, it
Powerade
is.
Zero the
I
best,
mean, you know,
I'm really on the no sugar kick. Like, I really don't.
I'm trying.
eat, I really don't eat much sugar. Everything I drink is zero sugar. I drink a lot of water. People ask how I can drink so much water, and actually, I put lemon in it. I actually take fresh lemons and cut lemon slices and put it in it. Gives it a little bit of flavor. So
Yeah, you're
that
supposed to
actually
drink recommended, or I think, is half your body weight in water every day to flush it out. So that's a lot of water for me to drink.
I drink one of these a day of water.
No, I mean that's
Some
good.
good
You know, no,
I mean, as long as you get water, but yeah, I try to drink a lot of water. You know, at least close to half of my body weight in water. Yeah, after a while, it's just like, oh, I'm so sick of water. Even putting, a lemon in there or Crystal Light or something like that. It's one of those where, it's still just is like, ugh.
Well, you can't use Crystal Light anymore because if you're part of the woke community, you can't use that because they use
Aspartame?
No, they use red food dye, and apparently that's bad for the environment.
Okay, I'll go buy some more.
I thought
Yeah,
you were gonna
right.
go on the aspartame kid because everybody's like, "Oh, you can't
Aspartame.
drink diet stuff. It's got aspartame."
Yeah,
Well-
the aspartame is bad. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
I mean, yes, it's
if you're
it's
drinking
bad.
in moderation, whatever. I mean, just like everything else.
But if you don't drink enough water, it's going to kill you. And if you drink too much water with stuff in it, it's going to kill you. And
Yep.
so,
Everything will at some point. You just got to.
I mean, you're going to die of something someday. We're all not
Yeah.
going to be here forever. So,
And the thing is, we're all bigger guys, and we like our food, and we still want to be healthy. I mean, but man, have you tried shopping? Have you tried shopping though? Healthy? I mean, J-Mac, I know you have. It's like you can add like almost double the price on your bill. If you try to go out there and buy all healthy stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so much
It's
more
like
expensive to be healthy.
so
Like
well, no,
doctors,
but
medical people say that, and it's like, well, it can't really.
yeah,
'cause-
I mean, so what I explain by sugar is obviously you can't completely avoid sugar. It's
No.
impossible.
No,
But what I don't do anything with added sugar. That's 100% against a rule of mine. So I don't do anything like that. But if it's got natural sugar in it a little bit, I mean, that's not really going to hurt me because that breaks down. So what I
it's
have
just
found,
it's just like me when I salt and pepper. I don't use a lot of salt unless it's in my food already. I don't cook with salt. I don't add salt to my food. So.
you know what's really good though that I found is all the powders, like garlic powder, onion powder,
Yep.
because it's
Yeah.
just powder. It's not.
Yep.
There's not a bunch of additives, and it's literally that stuff ground down to nothing. And the seasonings are really, really good. You can't have enough garlic, by the way.
Oh no.
No,
No, garlic's really good for you.
Mrs. Dash is pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean any of them that have all the natural stuff in there really is not going to hurt you. But I know
I use a lot of lemon pepper. It's probably worse for you than sugar, but I mean salt. But I love lemon pepper.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean lemon pepper's not bad.
So
James has a question for everybody.
Sure.
What year, as in ages, that you all had your first child, and did that change your world right away? So I'll let Mess Around start with that one.
For me, I was 26 years old, and at the time, I was into drugs really bad before I had the kid. And then once I had the kid, I stopped doing drugs. So yeah, that's how it changed my world. I'm kids.
Big B.
well, my son's 9. I'm 45. So if I do my quick math, that's 36 ish. So I was always told that when you see your firstborn being born, right then and there, you're going to think of your childhood and how it, and the future and how you're going to raise this kid and support it and stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, when I saw my son's head for the first time, the doctor holding it, right then and there, I looked back at my childhood, how I treated my mom, growing up on schooling and all that, and then looking how am I going to support this kid? How am I going to raise this kid? How am I going to be a dad? So I say right then and there, when that first sight is when everything changed for me.
Honestly, did you cry when your first child was born? I did. I cried like a little schoolgirl.
No, I just was like, I was just shocked seeing, 9 months of preparation and here it is,
Right.
So
Right.
I was so
James,
afraid to pick her up when she was first born. Like I
Yep.
didn't
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to drop her.
Yep.
yeah. Chris, how about you?
Chris, how about you?
No kids right now.
But Chris, when you do get that time, it
Right.
will instantly change your life.
Change your life. So, man, I think Mess Around's that's the only one who's knows about what I'm about to say. I became a dad for the first time at 18.
Wow.
So literally my entire adult life, I've been a parent. It's all starting to come to an end, and it's kind of crazy to think about. But 18, and then that was that was a high school relationship, and then my daughter was born when I was 20, and then 22, and then 26. So, but
Yeah, it was
I had
the second one.
I had the one, the two kids I had when I was 20 and 22. I had by myself for a while because Dave Olson knows that story. Their mom kind of took off and left me with them. So we've been on our own a few times, and things have worked out so far. But
So you say you're ready for one more run, huh?
oh God, to the hell, to the fuck, no. That will not.
I don't know if I would want to bring in a kid right now in the world the way things are.
I will tell you this. I will tell you that, and I don't care who I offend when I say this. I really don't. I will tell you that if that happened, if by some miracle that happened because both of us are fixed and we can't have kids, but some miracle that shit happened, you would find me in the bedroom hanging in the closet. I'm not even kidding, because fuck that.
Well, I've heard of people getting fixed and still having kids. So.
No. I'm sorry. Here's the way I look at it, because my let's see. So my oldest is 20 now, and the youngest just turned 12. So I look at it as started at 18. I'm gonna be the last one's gonna graduate when I'm 44. So 26 years of raising kids. If I make it to 70, then I'll have 26 years without raising kids. So kind of right in the middle.
Yeah.
But my mid 40s are going to be the best years of my life because I ain't going to have little assholes here.
Oh, no, you'll have grandkids then.
Hey,
but at least then you can ship their asses back home to the parents.
Dude, I can't wait. I want to wait a few years, but when that happens, I mean, I can't wait for that.
I can't imagine. I mean, granted, my son's 6 or 9, but I just can't imagine that. When my son has kids, that be called grandpa. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right now.
Right.
Yeah, it won't. But I'll tell you. And being a grandparent changes parents. Like, mess around will attest to this one. I'm sure you too, Big B. Your parents went from, when you were a kid, they'd make you a grilled cheese, and you'd be like, I don't like it like that. They're like, well, that's too goddamn bad. You're gonna eat it the way I made it. And then when they become grandparents, and the kids go over there, they're like, oh, do you want your grilled cheese cut into stars or squares today?
Goddamn right.
Or just go ahead and help yourself to whatever's in the kitchen. I mean, My son knows where everything grandma hides, or all the chip drawers, all the snack drawers. He just goes helps himself.
Yep. You never would have let me do that. You're right.
Exactly. When you're a kid, you're told, don't fucking touch it. Don't do this. Your kid does it. Oh, it's fine, sweetie. You're fine. Go ahead.
I'm just kind of wondering, does James have some news to spill to us with this question about having first kids?
Right, James? You got one on the way?
James, something you want to tell us? Yeah. So I'm pretty good at coming up with names for different sports teams, and really the ones I specialize in are kind of like slow pitch softball teams. I love naming slow pitch softball teams. You can mess around Dave. I've come up with some good ones over the years. Scared hitless.
That's a good one.
I'd hit that. Pitches be crazy. That was our
That's a good one.
That was our co-ed team. But I've come up with maybe the best one I've seen so far.
Okay.
Fit chased.
What was it?
Fit chased. Like what we are when we're camping, mess around.
Right? Yeah. I like that. Two bowls of Jaeger will do that to you.
No
50
doubt.
Jaeger.
Yeah.
I still can't believe I finished that whole bottle with 2 drinks.
Hey, by the way, I have a serious question. Do you guys remember before the internet that people thought the cause of stupidity was the lack of access to information?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it turns out that was not true.
Quick turnaround, I guess.
Well, the
That-
thing is
That age well.
you got all the knowledge in the world. Just Google, and people still are dumb.
Well, it's
So
like
with
we
that,
had the
with that
encyclopedia.
with that segue, Big B, I'm glad you got my drift on why I brought that up. There was a topic you wanted to talk about tonight.
Well,
So-
again, it kind of was fueled by your brother commenting me too about a wrestling topic, and you got Google. I just hate when sport people throw out stupid comments that aren't even close to what the player actually has done. And the one that triggered it, we talked about it in our chat, and I proved the guy wrong, and then get called a hater and stuff like that. But the question that your brother asked me was, he wanted to know who I thought the best Minnesota wrestler was. I said Bourne or Minnesota Ties, and he said that the question was Bourne. So I was like, I don't know. There's a list. Gave him a list. He goes, well, one guy said Gabe Stevenson. I was like, Stevenson wasn't even born in Minnesota. Get the facts straight, But yeah, it just drives me crazy when people try to throw out stats or knowledge and you prove them wrong. And, they're like, well, it's in a ballpark, and it's just like, yeah, but if somebody's starting only 11 games out of 30, you can't count that as a quality pitcher. Yes, when the pitcher's healthy, like DeGrom, he is unhittable. He's one of the best in the world. But for 11 starts out of 30, I can't count on that. So knowledge, Google, before people post stuff, please.
Yeah.
Yes, I tell Mr. Isaiah that all the time. Isaiah, Google is your friend, but he does not listen.
No,
He doesn't
that's
listen.
another one too.
he does not listen. Not at all.
I had this similar thing happen the other day. I was in one of the Bears sites. I made a group thing, something on Facebook, and some guy was like, they're talking about the draft, the Bears can get this and that for number one, and they're like, no way anybody would trade their whole draft for one player. And I said, Mike Ditka, anyone?
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? Ditka never was a coach. He never traded his draft. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. You're a Bears fan. You don't know that he was a coach.
Google it. Look at
Well, he did that when he was in. He didn't do it with the Bears. He did it with the
No, but
Dolphins or
still,
Saints.
obviously, if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a Bears fan, you should still know that he was a coach. He's like, Dick
Oh,
was
yeah.
never a coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
He traded his whole draft for Ricky Williams back in the day.
And how that pay off?
You can watch
know-
videos. You can Google it. There's so many resources.
With Chris here, and it's funny that you brought up DeGrom, Big B, because Greg Maddux is on that coaching staff now in Texas.
Yep. And that's where it all started from. That comment.
I know, and there's the picture I shared, just for everyone who hasn't seen it, is Greg Maddux standing next to DeGrom talking, and it says Greg Maddux talking to DeGrom about how they're both going to pitch the same number of innings this season.
Yeah. And then I brought up another Ranger fan, Met fan, saying
That's
that.
freaking cute.
Oh, it was hilarious. And then there's a certain Met fan that just is like,
Oh man!
oh, come on now, that's wrong. DeGrom is the best pitcher around, and he's going to give them good starts. It's like, yeah, when he's healthy. Well, he starts on an average of 25 games, over the years. It's like he hasn't started anywhere near 25 games since 2019? I think he started 32 games. After that, he's down in teams.
I think combined he started 30 games. Combined. Not in
Over
the
the last few years, yeah, but his last quality season was 2018, I believe, where he started 32 games. And I get it. Yes, a healthy DeGrom, you can get unhittable. Great, great in this day and age. No doubt about that.
But that's
Well, I
with
mean-
anybody. That's in any
Oh.
sport.
Well, superstar athletes, yeah, but I mean, I would take a healthy DeGrom over probably 99% of the pitchers in the league right now.
I don't know if I go that high.
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
You could say that.
I mean, if you can guarantee me that DeGrom's going to start 30 games, I'm taking him. You can
Right.
guarantee that he can only start 11 to 15 games like he's been doing? I might pass.
Well, guys, Isaiah's commenting.
Well, sorry to hear you got COVID, bud.
Yeah.
Now,
What happened?
my only question for Isaiah, because this happens a lot, I'm just wondering, is this self-proclaimed COVID or is it actually like tested positive COVID? I have to know. Curious minds have to know.
And tremendous war.
This treacherous war.
Yeah.
Um,
It's an illness, Isaiah. It happens. I hope you get better. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
it's an illness that 99.73% of people survived when they got it. So
Yep.
we're not going to get into those numbers. I'm not going to get into a COVID war, but
Nope.
anyway,
Oh, move on.
Yeah, because I've had it
Moving.
twice.
yeah. I mean, I had it. It sucked, but down
It
for a
does suck.
few days.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Like they.
And I think I had it the summer that it all started, so around September or so. So
All right. So I want to play a little game.
all right.
So I have in front of me every franchise's all-time leading receiver in the NFL.
Okay.
And you guys, I'm going to give you a random team, and you're going to tell me who the leading receiver is for that team all time.
Ooh, okay. So there's 32 right answers.
There's 32 correct answers, yes. We're going to stay away from some of the easier ones first, because there's some that are very obvious who their leading receivers are. And I can guarantee you that Mess Around will not get Chicago, Rigby will not get Minnesota, and Chris will not get Dallas. So I think that makes it a little more fair that you won't get those franchises.
Oh, we won't get you won't give us that team. I got you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
Well,
like,
so
we all should know who Minnesota's receiver is.
yeah.
All he
James
does
says this is a good game,
touchdowns.
right?
I'm trying to think Bears leading receiver. That's kind of got me.
We're going to start with Chris.
Okay.
And Chris, your team is the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh, that's a good one.
God, that is a tough one.
My-
I can't even.
I'm just gonna go on a limb, and I know it's probably not it. Michael Thomas.
No. The correct
The only
answer
name
is
I can think of.
answer
Joe Horn.
is
Oh, Horn was a good one.
Horn was a good guess.
Oh, I forgot.
Marcus Colston.
Oh, I forgot about
Really? I didn't think he played there that long.
I forgot about him.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I didn't think he'd be up there.
All right. Let's go down to Big B. Let's give Big B the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
I think I know this one.
God, did he play? First name that jumped to mind, and I don't know if he played for him. Urban Fryer. I know he played for Miami.
It is
Yeah,
not Irvin.
yeah.
It is not Irvin Fryer.
Is it Art Monk?
It's Art
Oh,
Monk. Yeah.
yes. Yep.
Art Monk. Do you know what is significant about Art Monk? Anybody?
His last name.
Uh,
Only guy known as Art. I don't know.
First
I
receiver in NFL history to have 100 catches in a season.
Oh,
nice.
You also have Art Shell.
I don't know. I know there's a lot of Arts.
Our
Really?
show's offensive lineman.
By the way, Isaiah's answering these. He said Pierre Garcon.
Wasn't he a Colt?
Mostly,
was a-
yeah.
I think it was a Commander Redskin.
Okay, so let's see. Mess around's turn. Mess around gets.
Isaiah probably couldn't even name the right 49er.
Mess around gets the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
Gosh dang it. I just had it here and it slipped.
Now, did they? No, because I think Cleveland got all the stats back. So,
They did.
yeah.
Now, just remember one caveat is that this is ranked by the number of yards the player had with that team.
Yeah.
Not in his
So not
career.
for their career, but with that team, with that franchise.
Right.
Oh, I might not. Oh,
I don't know. Go ahead, Big B, if you know it.
oh, I know once I hear the answer, I'll be like, oh yeah. So,
I'm Steve Smith. I don't know.
No, Derek Mason.
See, that was a name that slipped by him. So I had it too, and I lost
I
it.
was thinking Titans with him.
Let's see. So we go back to Chris. Chris,
Yes.
you get the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, this is so easy.
Oh,
I agree. This one is actually really easy.
Alexander?
Huge running back.
Oh.
well, he could play out.
Steve Lardent.
Yeah.
With Steve Largent.
No. That's a long one too. That's
That's going way back. Yeah, that's going like
Yeah.
80s.
Tyler Lockett. Oh my God. Isaiah, stop, please. All right. So let's see. how much
underrated
this is
receiver. Oh,
Big B.
Steve Largent was the one that had all the records for Rice broke them.
Yep, he did. Big B, you get the Buffalo Bills.
oh,
I think I know this one.
oh, God! Who was the big receiver in the '90s?
That is the one. Yes.
What the heck is his name?
I know this one.
I
My God!
I can't think of his name too, but I'm on the top of my.
So-
my
He
He's,
passed.
he's, in,
God!
he's in the Hall of Fame.
Thurman
he is.
Thomas,
He
Jim
passed.
Kelly.
Come on, you can get this.
I am blanking on his name. I see him.
You won't
And-
tell you.
Yeah, go ahead, mess around.
Andre Reed.
God dang it!
Yeah, Andre Reed.
I had both names, but I'm like, okay, it's Reed. What's his first name? And I kept thinking Andre Rison. I'm like, no, that's not it. Couldn't put them two together. God dang it!
Yeah. I mean, think of that Bills offense. That's why they made 4 straight Super Bowls. I mean, they had Jim
Big,
Kelly, Andre Reed, and Thurman
James
Thomas.
Lofton.
Yeah.
James Lofton.
Yeah.
And then Steve Tasker was a hell of a special teams player. Like,
Yep.
that team was loaded.
Just that kicker.
If they only had a kicker.
And to me, and Chris, this is gonna piss you off, but
No, I know.
whatever, man. I don't care.
I know.
Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed were a better trio than Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and Michael Irvin. Just saying.
They were pretty good. Yeah, I do.
100%.
Agree.
Well, that would be a good debate. I mean, that. Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be a good
All right,
debate.
well, let's see. Mess around. You get the Dallas Cowboys.
I get Dallas Cowboys, huh? Jesus. I was gonna say Michael Irvin, but he didn't play that long for the Cowboys.
I'm torn between two.
I don't know. I can't think back because I know it's an older name. I'm pretty sure of it because I think Irvin's career was cut short if I remember right.
I may shoot out an answer later, but I'll wait.
Big B. What you got?
Gotta be Owens, I think. If it's not an older guy, I was torn between Irvin and Owens.
I don't think Owens
Chris?
play long enough for them.
Pearson.
No. I would have thought it was Drew Pearson also. Actually, it's Jason Witten.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
really?
God, Witten!
Wow.
Yeah.
How did I
Oh.
think that?
It's
How did you miss that?
Wow. Wow.
Tight end
Jesus.
playing receiver.
It says receiver. I mean, so tight end is a receiver, yeah.
Yep.
In that case.
Wow.
Chris, you're up.
I didn't think Witten got that many yards. But wow.
Chris, you
Oh, I
get
should know that, too.
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
Randy
this
Moss.
is so easy. Nope.
Say it again.
Randy Moss.
It is not Randy Moss.
It's a close
Good.
second.
Go ahead, Brandon. Your team
It's,
will let you take it.
It's Chris Carter.
Yep.
All he does is catch
yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, all he does
And
is
that
catch
team. Now let me say that I watched this ranking show on. This is a little thing right in the middle of the trivia. We'll get back to it in a second. But I watched a YouTube video the other day of the biggest heartbreaking losses in sports history. And the 1998 championship game of the Minnesota Vikings versus the Atlanta Falcons ranked
Yeah.
number 1.
When
Because
dude missed that field goal.
because I mean they some of the players that I even forgot played for Minnesota during that time that they named on that team. You're
Randall
talking
Cunningham.
Chris Carter, Randall Cunningham, Terrell Owens, or not Randy Moss, and then Robert Smith at running back.
Oh my
right
God,
there.
that team was loaded.
Robert Smith was always in the MVP conversation every year until he got hurt. The defense
Every
was
year
stacked. The offensive line was probably the best offensive line we've ever had. Dennis
Oh my
Green
God,
just
we talked
stopped throwing to Randy Moss in
One
that
of the
game.
I mean,
greatest-
John
most-
Randall on defense.
I was just going to say one of
Uh,
the most underrated defensive tackles in the game, John Randall.
Oh yeah, John Randall. I think. Oh man, I can't even think of the defensive players that we had out there. It was just, yeah, that team was destined for there, and it comes down to coaching. When you got the freak out there just running past people like they're standing still, you just chuck that ball up to them all the time.
Yeah, I looked at his stats in that game. By the way, he had 7 catches for 100 and what it was 140 something yards and 2
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
How do you not throw in the ball? How do you not just keep
Yeah.
throwing him the ball? I
Yeah.
just don't get it.
Right?
Yep.
Toss it up,
anyway.
he'll go get it.
Right. All right. So is it Big B's turn? Yeah.
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 Big B gets the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh, this could go. We have one of two guys I'm thinking of.
Oh, God dang it.
I know it though.
The first name slipping me. Last name Smith. That's the only thing I can think of right now. I can't think of his first name. But I'll go with Smith.
Last name Smith is correct.
God dang it.
Jimmy Smith.
It's
Yes.
Jimmy Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Mess around. Atlanta Falcons.
Andre Rison.
No, it is not Andre Rison.
It's not Andre Rison. Wow.
Oh. I would have said Andre Rison too, right off the bat. I'm trying to think of who else I had at receiver there.
Is he a current player or somewhat current?
I'm not. I can't give you that, Chris.
Wow, it wouldn't be. Yeah, well, it could be a current player.
Julio Jones?
Chris got it right. It's Julio Jones.
Oh my God. Why did I not think of that?
He said Atlanta Falcons. I would have said Andre Rison right off the bat too.
Because that's what I was asking. Is like current, but kind of not current. But
Yeah.
I think he retired.
Right. All right. Let's see. Was that it's at
Crispy's.
Crispy. Crispy, you get the Rams.
Ooh.
Isaac Bruce.
Very good. It is Isaac
Yep.
Bruce.
I was trying to
You
think
want-
of the 90s.
By the way, you want to talk about another team?
If it
that was
wasn't Bruce,
stacked?
I was trying to think of the other guy's name, but I couldn't.
Torrey Holt.
Holt.
Oh,
But you want to talk about another team that was stacked? That was the greatest show on turf. No,
that's what I was
way.
thinking.
That
It's like,
team was
it's gotta
stacked.
be that team.
You're talking Kurt Warner at quarterback. Then you had Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce at receiver. Marshall Falk at running back. That team was stacked.
and the thing is Warner got cut by the Packers. Went and played
Got cut
arena
by the Bears.
football.
Mm-hmm.
He played for was with the Bears. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got cut by the Bears before the
Okay.
preseason.
Warner
started.
also played for the not played, but he was part of the Packers.
Oh yeah, they cut him, and then he went and played arena football. Then yeah, he shows up playing for the Rams.
And he
Back at
only
the
got the
Giants
start because
Eli.
Trent Green got hurt.
My
Yeah.
question is, how did that team not win more than one Super Bowl? My
I don't
gosh.
know. I don't know.
It's hard to repeat.
Because that team was loaded, man. That team
It
was
was.
something else. All right, couple more. Let's see. Let's go to Big B. Big B, let's give you a good one. New York Giants.
Ooh, that could. Just because you threw me off with the Dallas Cowboy one, I'll go Jeremy Shockey.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's not Jeremy Shockey. Mess around. Any guesses?
Gosh. Ike Hilliard?
Ooh, that was a good guess.
That was a good guess. I
But
forgot
he
all about him.
He played opposite of Ike Hilliard.
Odell Beckham.
Oh.
Amani Toomer.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Monty,
forgot
too.
about him.
Wow.
I forgot about
Man, I
him.
forgot about Toomer.
He got a
All right.
tumor.
Yeah. All right. Mess around. You get Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on this one. Pass.
Anyone? Any guesses?
I'm trying to think if he put up the numbers, though, that he did in Minnesota. Chris Carter.
No, not Chris
I
Carter.
didn't think it. Is it T.O.?
I don't think it's CO. He was on there for like a year or two.
Nope. You guys won't get this one because I had to look this one up to be sure. It's the second oldest franchise record for receiving yards in the NFL. It's Harold Carmichael.
Yeah, I never would have got that.
I wouldn't have either.
There's only one team that has a guy that has had the franchise record for longer than that. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. So was that Chris? Was that Big B?
That was that's right.
That was mess around. Okay, so Chris, let's do one more each. Chris,
Okay.
you get the Chargers.
I don't think I can name a Charger receiver.
But it doesn't have to be a receiver technically. I know it's probably not it. It was really rushing, but with Danny and Tomlinson.
No. Any guesses anywhere else?
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates is correct. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Big B, you get New England Patriots.
Man, that's a tough one. I can't think of any elite receivers they've ever had.
Tim Brown. No, not Tim Brown.
You're
I'm trying to
thinking
think.
of Troy Brown.
Troy Brown. Yeah.
But that's not right.
No. It's got to be somebody with Brady.
It's not someone with Brady.
It's
actually.
not.
Oh.
He didn't have any elite receivers. Yeah.
No. It is Stanley Morgan.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten
Yeah,
that.
I never would have got it.
All right. Let's see. Big B, last one, or mess around, last one. You get the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, this is a good one.
It's tough because they've had so many good receivers. Is it Randall?
No. Heinz Ward.
That's the name I
thinking-
was
Oh.
thinking of. Dang it.
Ooh, I was thinking it was older than that.
All right. Real quick, let's go down the ones we didn't hit. San Francisco 49ers, everyone knows Jerry Rice.
Right.
Unless you're Andy.
Arizona Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Yep. The Raiders, Tim Brown.
Tim Brown.
The Colts, Marvin
Harrison.
Harrison.
Here.
Harrison. Yep.
The Houston Texans,
That's Johnson.
Andre Johnson. Yep. Carolina Panthers,
Smith.
Steve Smith. Yep. That's why we didn't do those. They were easy. Here's some ones you might not have known. New York Jets, Don Maynard. Detroit Lions,
Calvin
Herman
Johnson.
Moore.
Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. Denver Broncos,
Sharp.
Rod Smith.
Rod Smith, the greatest undrafted receiver of all time.
Next to Adam Thielen.
Kansas City Chiefs,
Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Mhm.
Bengals,
Ooh.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco.
He is.
Uh,
Okay. Good job.
Green Bay Packers,
Oh,
It's Jordy Nelson.
it's not Jordy Nelson.
Is
It is
it
my
Sharp?
my favorite Green Bay player, my second
The
favorite
Sharp?
Green Bay player of all time. It's Donald Driver.
Driver. That's who it was.
Driver. Okay.
The Miami Dolphins was Mark Duper.
I would
Duper.
have got that one.
They had the Duper and Ingram show. They had some good receivers.
Cleveland Browns was Ozzie Newsome.
I didn't use him. Yep.
Wow.
Tennessee Titans was Ernest Givens.
Ernest Gibbons. They're just throwbacks.
Yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans.
yeah.
Mike Evans. Yep.
Yeah.
And last on the list, 32nd in the NFL for a
Chicago.
franchise with a leading receiver and is the oldest franchise record for a receiver in the NFL is the Chicago Bears. It's Johnny Morris.
Yep.
Okay. And Johnny Morris, by the way, Johnny Morris had 5,059 career receiving yards, and he leads the franchise all time.
Oh wow.
You know why? Because our receivers get good, and we decided to get rid of them.
Well, again, too, you got to have a quarterback that can throw 3,000 yards.
We had Alshon Jeffrey, who I think would have done it if he would have resigned instead of going to Philly, but that guy really fell off the map after he left us.
That's true. That's true. All
I
right.
still can't believe Jimmy Mack hasn't thrown 3,000 yards in his career with the Bears.
Nope. I can't believe Jay Cutler didn't throw for 4,000 yards, but
Yeah.
He would have that if he hadn't gotten hurt.
he
He
probably
would have
threw
got hurt.
Is it 4,000 or 3,000 they haven't hit?
no 4,000. They've had 3,000, never a 4,000.
Okay.
They're the only.
Cutler was like 340 yards short, and he missed 3 games 1 year. Then he did that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they're the
Yeah.
only franchise to ever have a 4,000-yard passer. Yeah.
That's insane.
And they barely have a receiver that's over 5,000 yards career all time.
right.
By the way, if you're curious how close that is to the next, Derek Mason for Baltimore is the second least of all time, and he has 6,778 yards. So it's almost
Well, yeah, and
1,700
Baltimore's only been in
yards less.
existence like what
yeah.
less than half the time Chicago has.
Think about that. Chicago's the second oldest team in the league, and the Panthers, the Jaguars, and the Texans all have guys that have over 2 times the amount of receiving yards as a Chicago receiver.
Well, if we could get off our old ways of
Well,
running the football,
typically you
playing
can
good
rack
defense,
those up
win
in
games.
2 to 3 years, 5,000 receiving yards. How good
All
you
right.
are.
All right, let's go around real quick. Final thoughts, Chris.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Great shows here on Coast to Coast, and we're gonna have a recap, somewhat edition of Morning Tailgate this Sunday. So stay tuned.
All right. Sounds great. Oh, sorry. Big B.
Yeah, like Chris said, this Sunday morning tailgate, recap of the season, a little talk about the XFL with our man Chris up there, who's the god of football being played anywhere. I mean, check us out Tuesday for In the Den with the Cougars and all of our other great shows.
All right, mess around.
It's been a month since I've been on the show.
I knew it had been a
Crazy,
while. Yeah.
Been a while. It's good to be
Stop
back.
sleeping.
It feels good to be back. I miss it. I don't know why. I've just been busy with other things and family life, stuff like that. But
Life.
Life happens.
Hey, it happens, man.
It's good to
well,
be back.
for-
The therapy is awesome.
Absolutely. And for Crispy Bacon, for Double Dirty Big B from Restaurant, this is J Mac. Thanks for watching, listening to us. We couldn't do this without you. Lifelong dreams being lived in front of your very eyes. We do this for you. Thank you, however you're watching, listening to us, and we'll see you all on the other side.